It's only 1 o'clock and today's already been busy. We've been to the vet and back, which was a bit of a bill, and I took a few little videos of kitty cat stuff, and I'm going to see if I can learn how to stitch stuff together. That'll be an experiment. I'll see if I can succeed with that. So I'm out in the garden like usual. It's probably about 38 to 40 degrees. It's Fahrenheit right now, and some of the snow still hasn't melted. But that's just a sign of how solid the soil is right now. And it really does depend on how much sunlight hits, because as you can see across the rest of the yard, except for places that get quite a lot of shade, I gotta put that back, we are mostly melted at this point. Got some pole wood here, but this is an interesting exercise in how much shade each area of the garden does get, in the winter anyway. So, this time of year the sun goes down at about 5:15. And, ooh, that's a weed, honestly. I don't need fennel everywhere. It's a weed, but it's frozen into the ground. Okay. I'd like the fennel to stay up there, which means I should probably harvest the seeds again. It might be a good day to do that. So it's neat to see what stays green, and it'll be fascinating to see if we can find anything that's still food, other than the onions. The hog nut, this is my first year having it. I started that from seeds I found in a native planting of a rain garden in the city. And clearly it responds quite strongly to frost, to the hard frost anyway, to being frozen, because that's all of these. That's hog nut. Whereas the raspberries, those leaves are supple and they're fine. These ones are a little bit scorched. And it's the same thing with the hedges. There's the top bits have lost most of their greenery. However, the lower bits are still pretty green. I still clearly did not get the apples, but today would be a good day to do that. They're getting a little overripe, but they're going to be sugar sweet. I've definitely harvested them later than this. Shouldn't, but do. This is still in a frozen zone, so I don't know if it's the best example. This is rhubarb. It feels like that might come back. This obviously won't, but it feels like that could come back. It might not, though. And that's that rhubarb. Onions are still in great shape. Anytime the soil warms up enough, those are going to be good to go. The celery, I may have even missed harvesting it all. Oh well. I was getting sent so much celery from my Misfits subscription that it just didn't become necessary. So you can see the sun hits this area and hardly at all, at least in the wintertime, hardly at all hits here. And this area stays really, really wet as well. The ajuga, which is right along the side of my shadow here, also did great. Let's go a little closer, and you can start to see the little pockets where I pulled those trees out. And my aster seeds need to go down the hill. Yeah, most of the things that are in this little wet valley did fine. And the ajuga is also, yeah, still green and healthy and doing great, which is nice. I've got some chives to get out of there. Those are the weedy type. We had been looking at this wood chip pile while it was covered in that almost 2 inches of snow, and it already had enough thermal mass that it didn't have snow in some areas. So I'm thinking, wow, that is solid. It's like solid like a rock. It's not going to break apart very easily. Yeah, wow. Ugh. So it might be frozen anyway, but it's still got some amount of thermal mass, so otherwise it would have had more snow on it when everything was super frozen. More asters, I gotta get the seeds away. I hope I get those in time. This time of year, that's the thing, it's a little bit hard to get motivated to get out here because everything's so freaking cold. But if I don't, then these asters are gonna seed and end up everywhere. And I'd rather take the seeds and set them in the cliff area where they can stabilize the cliff, beautify the cliff, and spread as much as they want out there, because that's my use for them this year. That's what I'm hoping to do with them this year. So there's another aster seed head, but I need the pruners before I do that. We got all these little dug holes ready for the spring when all of my hazelnuts come. From here you can definitely see the area below quite more clearly. Is everything but I think that's a maple. Everything but the maple and an oak down there have dropped most of their leaves. And I apologize. Here comes a train. The highway noise is enough as it is. I did not realize that train was coming. And it's gonna be a long one, I can guarantee you. They always are. That's snake root. That's something else I could take down the hill. But, let's see. The invasive honeysuckle dropped all its leaf. No, other way around. The invasive bittersweet dropped all its leaf, but the invasive honeysuckle still has quite a bit of greenery. We've got a good bit of weedy chives down here also. And the willow twigs. This one's drying out a little bit towards the tip, but they're still doing pretty good. I may bring down a watering can and water them just to make sure they don't dry out. Because 3 of them have leaves, but they're just stuck in here hoping that they'll grow branches and grow up into be big tall plants someday. Or plants that I cut down on the regular for a harvest wood. But yeah, that's the train's going right there. And you can see it continues there. That's easier to see. Yeah. That's how the cliff looks in wintertime, just about wintertime. It's only mid-November, but since it snowed, it's pretty dang cold. Yeah, that is the maple. That is a massive oak that's coming from almost the bottom of the cliff. The lower trees get a lot more shelter from the elements. I don't see any new red berries on the goji wolfberry yet. I see one that's gone a little orange over here. I saw it. Where did it go? It was there. Yeah, right in there. There's an orange berry. I could probably take one more. And that's what we got. Not a whole lot of food right now, but I've got a pretty full freezer and everything's looking pretty good overall. I'm quite happy. This cage has done a much better job of protecting that mulberry, so I think it'll do real well next year. I still haven't figured out how to get pawpaws in here, because a couple times I've tried, the plants haven't made it. It'll be interesting to see what comes of that. But as far as the other weed trees, I'm harvesting them as cordwood, polewood, and other small building material type of situation is going really well. I am trying to limit it just to natives, though. So, chores still pending include apples. I mentioned a couple. I'll have to go back through my own video. Apples, potting these up. Hopefully. If it gets warm enough, that would be really good. And, I would like to see, because as you can see, people are getting excited about my nursery. And so I'm getting pot donations, and I'd like to figure out a way to get this porch in a situation where, like, I can handle what's being given to me in an organized fashion, because it's so helpful and nice that people are doing that. I don't want to be struggling with it at the same time. I feel like I can definitely get the porch together to a situation where it's manageable, I think. I think I can get it manageable. I hope so. So that's where we're at. That's what's going on. I wonder what's in that tree. There's like something hanging. Nice clear day, warming up. No longer below freezing. Definitely above freezing. But also still pretty chilly. If I can pot up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 2 big 3 gallons. One I've got ready to drop in there already. That would be ideal. Then I'd be fully utilizing my space again. And I noticed, too, this is going to be super annoying. I also noticed that those invasive chives aren't quite dead. And some of them are here at the bottom of the pots. And I don't know, honestly don't know how I'm going to get them dead. What with how aggressive these are. These were under black plastic for over a year and still didn't die. So they're serious little buggers. So hopefully I won't have to get out anything too strong to get the ones poking through gone, but that's an issue. Yep. That's a pot and pot nursery. See how this is doing in here. Still a little bit green. That's switchgrass in a grow out lot. And then we'll see how this is going in here. Oh, that's doing alright too. That's a Saskatoon in there. So everything's doing pretty good. I think so. So, alright. I guess that's that. I hope you're having a good one. Take care. Bye.